Welcome back to another episode of Pick 10, and we're joined by a good friend of the channel. We have Alito, the Swede is coming in, pro player, a lot of good vibes, good energy. How are you doing, my brother?
Mike, I'm very, very happy to be part of it. I've been seeing it on your channel before. I saw one of the episodes with, I think you did with George Adamo, the pro player from MLS. So I'm very, very excited for this, yeah.
We'll see if you can do better than George. I think I took that episode down. If you guys are brand spanking new, here are the rules. Every player must be an icon. We have alternating picks. You cannot repeat players. We've bumped the budget, 500,000 coins for the cheaper, affordable players, and then unlimited for the expensive choices. You get to start out.
So my first option then, Mike, would be none other than Fernando Torres, Grades of the Game icon.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm feeling, based on your voice now, that you might have had him in your top 5. For me, I mean, he has Finesse Shot Plus, he has Power Header Plus, he has Trivela Plus, and also that Rapid Plus. But I mean, the most important thing for me when I'm looking for strikers is the Finesse Shot Plus inside the box. I mean, if you're just shooting a normal finesse inside the box, 9 out of 10 times it flies into the back of the net, so...
He's so damn good. 99 pace out of nowhere. Every time you add a playstyle, it makes a big difference. And he not only has Finesse Shot, but he has Trivela. And I know that Trivelas have been downplayed at this point, but still, there's relevance there. I still score them. I don't know about you. They might not be the same that they once were, but there's still something that I'd like to have with my striker. It's a benefit for sure.
Definitely, and I think as you said, I think at the start of the game we saw, you know, Trivelas flying from, you know, outside of the box. But I definitely feel like inside the box, when you both have that Finesse Shot Plus and the Trivela, it doesn't matter if you shoot with the left, with the right. I mean, you can shoot, as you said, at normal Trivela, and I mean, the chance of going in are very, very high.
All right, that's a good first round choice. I'm not mad at that at all. I've got to go with players that I've used as well. I want to put that out there. I want an Italian. I think Pirlo has been the real deal this year. I don't know how he finessed his way into having not only the trait, but the skill moves. He's got the weak foot. He can control the midfield. The vision is there. He's going to be able to make a difference. And somehow, I believe this item got up to, is it 90 defending? I've never seen a Pirlo built like this. He's built different. But that's okay. I'm not here to complain. I'm just here to give you my selection.
I mean, I can tell you for a fact, that was my second pick. So I think one thing that you didn't mention, Mike, is that he has every playstyle in passing. A big benefit for having a player, I mean, controlling the midfield, as you explained.
This year in particular, we've never seen players shifted so much, not only off playstyles, but guys that have certain passing playstyles or the ability to change games via their passing. I've talked about it previously, but guys that didn't necessarily ever make it into rotationals. The same with Pirlo, and here they are.
For sure. And I mean, if we're looking at a bit of pro gameplay, I've actually saw a few players using this Pirlo in the previous tournaments. So it's definitely a player that I think you guys should try out. As Mike said, under 500k, and I mean, he looks unbelievable, to be honest.
Who's next? Take the stand.
Next one is going to be a midfielder as well, to be honest. I think you could play him as a midfielder that stays back, as a midfielder that can go forward, but it's going to be none other than Clarence Seedorf, Grades of the Game icon as well. 5-star weak with 4-star skill moves, 91 pace, 86 defending even, and most importantly, 99 passing. And I would like to compare him a bit to Ruud Gullit, even though he's not like, has that Gullit type of body. But he still is like a mini Ruud Gullit this year, I would say.
Big upgrade was an SBC, and then he has Finesse Shot and he has Technical. I still find Technical to be super important, especially if you're trying to push some speed or some turning within the midfield. And this Seedorf moves way better than any of his previous items. I like that selection. It's a good choice. I think I'm going back-to-back Italians. I can't believe Del Piero's came down so far in price as well. He's got the double 5-star. He's got Technical. He's got Finesse. I don't think that Dead Ball or Flare matter in the same way. I've enjoyed using them. Fun item. That's all I can say. If you want someone to shake it up for you, him and Pirlo controlling a midfield, you're going to have a good experience.
For sure. And I can tell you for a fact, I was looking at him, Mike, but that 92 pace for like a striker, I feel like in the game cycle we're at right now, he might be a bit too slow, actually. So that was why I didn't pick him earlier, because otherwise I definitely would. I mean, if we're looking at him to get up to 97, 98 pace, he would be, I think, top 3 for me at the moment, yeah.
I'm not playing him as a striker, so it doesn't matter. Playing more of that number 10-esque type of role.
Okay.
He's kind of my floating attacker, if you will. I think that's his best position. So you got to kind of make a team where that's going to be what he's going to do. Some sort of false 9-esque type of interchangeability.
Yeah, I hear you. Number 3 for me then is going to be, actually we're going a bit more further down in the team. We're going towards a left back. Ashley Cole, 95 rated, 95 pace, 95 defending, 88 physique, and overall a very good left back with also whipped pass plus, which I think is a big benefit in this year in terms of playstyles. Because of how good the crossing actually is when players like Ashley Cole has that playstyle. Also block plus, which I think is probably the best defensive playstyle on the game, with also intercept. So overall, a very, very good left back, and I would say is probably one of the better left backs on the game, and most likely the best left back for under 500k at the moment.
I'm gonna match you, and I'm not sure if this is controversial, but I prefer Zambrata, so I'm gonna take the right back, who technically could play as a left back. He has a 5-star weak foot, 5-star skill moves. I think he's better than Ashley Cole as a left back. Got whip pass again, intercept, relentless. I think he's sort of gone under the radar, super affordable, and he's not as high rated. We're used to getting everyone in the 95s, 96s, 97s, even in the affordable price range. But at a 93, you won't be disappointed. Apparently, I am so biased towards Italians. I just realized my first 3 choices, we've gone all Italian. So shout out to the Italians. Clearly, I'm picking you up. I got the notepad out. I'm picking you up.
Okay. Okay, 4th pick then. Also a defender, actually. I think you could actually play this player as a midfielder as well if you really would like to. But it's going to be 95 Ronald Koeman. 91 pace, 95 defending, 94 physique. You could argue that he's a bit short to play as a center back. That's why I'm saying he could play as a midfielder as well if you would like to swap him. But if you look at, I mean, stats, as I said, 95 defending, 94 physique, 91 pace. Very, very good plays on him as well with Anticipate plus, Slight Tackle plus, First Touch plus as well, and also that Aerial plus, which I guess we're looking for with a lot of defenders, right? Being better in the air.
Tons of stats. I haven't loved using him throughout this year. If he didn't have Aerial, I think he'd be in for big trouble because he's I think he's listed at 5'11 or 6 foot, but he feels a little more 5'10-ish. But Aerial plays a big factor. We could talk about it time and time again. There are players climbing ladders and they're going on rocket ship missions. They've talked to Elon Musk. I don't know what's happened. Some of these guys, I have no idea where they're finding this elevation, but it exists. If you have that playstyle, it definitely exists. I'm looking forward to see if EA makes playstyles this significant or this overpowered in FC25. If we started getting some news or some early teasers or some leaks have been announced. But I'm not mad at your choice. I think I'm gonna shake the whole situation up. Just throwing it out there. You weren't ready for this choice. I think I could have gotten my 5th choice, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it up. It's gonna impact our unlimited. The 93 overall Henri, which was the Thunderstruck, was it? I think it was a Thunderstruck item. So this is the first. I think it was Thunderstruck. 93 Henri has dropped down to 400,000 coins. He fits into our price range. The reason I say this will impact everything is you're not going to see the 94 or the 97 being called out. Remember, we only use one option. This was the game changer for Henri. None of his previous items did the business. We had step overs with this 93. He was attacking, he was impactful, he was explosive, he was dangerous. And what's funny is at this point of the game, I think he only has one playstyle plus, but I don't care. I can still get busy with him, I can still get jiggy with him, and he's going into my list.
It's between actually a keeper and 2 strikers. And I'm going to go a bit more fun. I mean, we often say keepers doesn't really matter, and it's just personal preference. So I'm actually going to go with Risto Stoichkov, 94 rated.
He was on my list. I have him sitting here. He's good.
He looks really good. Ultimate birthday icon. Only 2 playstyles, which you could argue as well might not be the best, but for under 500k, 5-star, 5-star, 95 pace, 87 physique, with technical plus, which I think is one of the best playstyles on this year's game, and also first touch. And overall, he looks really, really good as a striker in this year's game.
And just to build off what you said, I'm not going to make a choice here, but both that Casillas and Schmeichel for goalkeepers, I would recommend giving them a special shout out. It's hard to get goalkeepers into these. I'll be honest. It's very difficult because when you look at the attacking players, the guys that you know will impact the match so dramatically, you end up leaving off some of the cheaper goalkeepers. And I think I'm going to go with even a bigger throwback. I would say he was impactful up front as maybe Erling Haaland when you talk about the aerials and the knockdowns. You remember that golazo Didier Drogba, 94 overall. He was dangerous.
Really good one.
That man was a threat. Undeniable talent. And I never thought that we'd see a Didier Drogba throughout this year that would be that prevalent. That relevant, just game-changing, and he was. I saw him in every squad for at least 3-4 weekend leagues in a row.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a very, very good pickup. I didn't even have him on my list, so that was one that you definitely, saw instead of me.
Let's talk about the big spenders. Let's get into the high rollers. Where are you starting us out? Who's your first choice?
I mean, should I be boring or
There's no way not to be a little bit boring here. It just is what it is. It is what it is.
The obvious choice is R9, 98 R9, probably the best player on this whole game, we gotta be honest. They also added him now with a Finesse Shot Plus. He has actually Ship Shot Plus, which I think a lot of you guys know about as watching. The ship shots are really, really poor this year. But the Ship Shot Plus can actually make the ships be a bit better. He also has First Touch Plus and Quick Step. 99 pace, 99 shooting, 5-star, 5-star, 97 dribbling as well, adding on to that. So, I mean, if you manage to get this guy into your team,
good luck.
I mean, it will always fly into the back of the net. with this guy.
R9's a strange player in terms of playstyles, sort of like Mbappe. I don't think they ever mattered. He's one of the few guys where you could look at him and they're not the best selection of playstyles, but it doesn't matter. R9 just has that aura, or he has that juice, he has that extracurricular. And with you going R9, for me, I got to go best in the midfield here with Ruud Gullit, the space that he takes up, big body type. He kind of gallops through the midfield. If you don't know what you're doing in the game, you'll win more games if you somehow have a version of Ruud Gullit. He's a talent and he's a presence that is so noticeable in every single match, and we've seen him in the pro scene since his introduction. I think that Ruud Gullit had to make a team because he was so good in the game.
For sure. I mean, he's absolutely insane. You could argue he's probably the best midfielder on this year's game as well, 100%. As you were saying, you like to go back to Italians, and I'm not going that route. I'm going back to my fellow Brazilian player, and it's going to be none other than Rivaldo. 98 rated Rivaldo. 5-star, 5-star once again, the same as R9, with 98 pace, 97 shooting, 95 passing, and 99 dribbling. A fantastic striker in this year's game, and I mean, if you were to have him and R9 together in a duo, poof, you will score a lot of goals. That's one thing for sure.
I didn't see this coming with the Rivaldo upgrade, and I wanted to ask you, how important do you feel that press proven is? Because I've been having a lot of different conversations. Some people say it's an underrated playstyle plus, other people say it's a little more debatable. I don't think it'd be in an S tier or just top option, but I just would love your opinion as a pro player.
I think it's a very good question. I mean, I gotta be completely honest. When I'm looking towards a player that I want to be good in attacking, I don't really look towards press-proven playstyle too much. In general, I think it's a good playstyle in terms of the player will actually keep the ball close to him. So overall, I would say it's a good playstyle, but like you said, I don't think it's, you know, in this S tiers yet. But I still think it's a good and underrated playstyle in this year's game.
And to your point, I think the position matters dramatically for what you're actually going to receive on the back end with press proven. Maybe if you have a midfielder, we can have a different conversation, but you went Brazilian. I've got to go Brazilian. I think you can predict where this is going to head. You can kind of pick a Ronaldinho, but with the 98, of course, having finesse shot, quick step, dead ball, trickster, stats everywhere. It looks ridiculous. Has his own animations. If you remember, he used to be a cover star for many years, and I've always felt because of that, they have certain motion captured movements that are so elite or unique to him, and once you get used to it, it's unbelievable.
Nah, for sure. And I mean, I think you'll always find joy when playing with these types of players, you know? It would always be fun playing with these types of players. So I think that's a great pick. Okay, towards my number 3 then. It's going to be probably one of the greatest player ever in real life football. I swear some people have this guy as one of the, you know, best players to ever play the game. It's going to be none other than Zinedine Zidane. 98 rated. I guess you also had him on your list. He has finesse shot plus, he has chip shot plus. Most importantly, he has the best passing playstyle on this year's game, long ball pass plus, which I think is super important in terms of through ball passes to the wingbacks or to the wingers in general. And then for the last playstyle plus, he also has technical with 99 passing, 99 dribbling, 5-star, 5-star. You know, like if I just mention his stats, his playstyles, he will just be a beast for you playing him as a midfielder in this year's game.
Yeah, I just made a video on playstyle, so that pretty fresh in terms of my review. When it comes to passing, incisive, long ball, and whipped pass are all S tier for me, and you might even be able to make a case for ping pass. I only think tiki-taka sits a little bit lower if we're just being completely transparent. I don't know if you agree or not, but it's pretty incredible the difference it makes for completing difficult passes.
For sure, and I would agree with you. As you said, tiki-taka might be on a lower tier than the other ones, but all the other ones that you were explaining, like the whip pass, ping pass, and also long ball and incisive, I think all of them are very important to have on especially on a center midfielder this year.
It allows you to make passes that aren't possible without the playstyle, and I think that's got to be the focal point. I'm having a conflict here for my next selection. I've got a few options sitting in front of me. There's guys that I like maybe better than some of the other ones. I'm gonna leave off a big name. I'm gonna leave you a slam dunk of an option that I just haven't gotten on board with them all year, so I think I'm gonna leave them alone. I'm gonna stick to the Brazilian theme, and we're gonna go with Pele on the 97. So we're not going with one of the brand's spanking new options, but we're going with someone who's good old trusted. He's able to do the business. I got a lot of love for him. The close control dribbling has always been phenomenal. I just feel like I've got the ball on the string when I'm using Pele.
I think he's always a player as well, like we talked about Gullit, you know, that will make it to like the very end of like the game cycle, you know. So I think that's a very good pickup. For my 4th pick then, I mean,
I can guess it, I bet. Let me write this down. I think you have to go here, so we'll see. All right, one moment. I think you has to go here.
I'm debating, and I'm actually going to guess the player that you have in front of you, and it's going to be a striker from the Netherlands, Johan Cruyff. Is that the guy?
That's the guy. I've kind of been a hater this year. I don't know what it is. I don't think he's as dangerous as some of the other attackers at the same level or price point or elitism, if you will.
I agree with you. And I mean, if you're looking for a striker in especially the 4-3-2-1 formation, which is used a lot this year, I mean, I think most of the people just choose R9 over him, you know? And then after that, people might choose Pele. So that's why I don't think we see him a lot.
On record, I don't want to be a hater. I just know that other people put him at a higher regard than I do this year. Just when you're looking at the creme de la creme of attacking options. And again, assuming you've got serious budgets. I was surprised how high you took Rivaldo, because Rivaldo sort of came out of nowhere. I feel like we almost have too many attackers. We need another midfielder or a defender to come into play. I'm going to take it to the classics. And if you get this guy with Ruud Gullit, you have completed your midfield. Patrick Vieira, if you've been playing for a long time, you know what it's all about. I'd also highly recommend using him as a center back. You might have seen him used more as a center back in the pro level of gameplay throughout the season. I just think he gets to everything. Positioning is phenomenal. He's reliable. He's trusted. He's insured. You've got a lot of history within him being just a guy that has a certain, I don't want to overuse the word aura, but he's got that extracurricular. He's got something about him, a little oomph. I think he gives a little more cadence and confidence when you're defending on the virtual pitch, or if you're intercepting or taking up space or making blocks in the midfield, however you want to use him.
I think that's fair. I actually thought that you were going to go for a different midfielder, which I will be picking for my last pick then. So
I've opened the doors for you.
I guess we're throwing it back once again, Mike. For the Liverpool fans, I think you will love me for this. It's going to be none other than 97 Steven Gerrard. 92 pace, 99 shooting, 97 passing as well. Overall, great card with also 91 defending. Mike, we talked about Pirlo before, not actually, you know, getting up to these high defensive stats. And the same with Gerrard, I would say, in the past years. But now he has over 90 in defense. So overall, I think, you know, if you are able to partner Gerrard up with Vieira, as you explained, or Gullit, for example, I think he will be a very, very good pickup.
And you had to grind a lot. One of the most frequently asked questions I received over the past couple weeks as people were nearing towards the end of the season, because this was an objective, was Steven Gerrard or Toni Kroos, and I always leaned on that Kroos. I don't know where you fall, but the 94 was so good that even an upgrade for me to the 97, I couldn't turn it down.
I hear you on that, and if I were to choose between Toni Kroos and Gerrard as well, I would probably go for Toni as well. But I still think Gerrard, if you manage to pick Gerrard and you had that option, I don't think it's a bad pickup at all. As I said, it's a great card overall, you know, 90 above everything in stats, so he will be really, really good for you as well.
There's been a theme here. We don't have any defenders, so I want to get one on, and I've been so biased towards Italians. Why stop today? We made a whole video dedicated to Maldini, the greatest to do it. Maldini is my final choice, and that's where I'm leaving off in terms of the list. I like what we've got here. I think we have nice variety between some of the more affordable options. The expensive guys, it's a little more straightforward. I gotta ask this though, who did we leave off? Who else is on your short list that maybe we didn't talk about?
One player that you actually mentioned in the unlimited budget, I had it under 500k, and it's going to be none other than Patrick Vieira's 93 rated icon card.
Smart.
I mean, for under 500k, he is a bargain, I think. I mean, he looks unreal. 87 pace, 92 defending, 94 physique. I didn't really, you know, add him into that kind of top 5 in the 500k budget because he only has 2 playstyles, even though they are great playstyles for a defensive player with intercept and block. Thought there were some other better players, but I still think for under 500k, if you're looking for, as you said, defensive midfielder that can also, you know, be used as a center back in a 5-back, for example, I think is a very, very good option.
Yeah, most of my extras are going to be on the cheaper end. Schmeichel, we talked about a little bit. Casillas would both be there. Michael Ballack, who has not been great this year, but this is a good return of investment. You want performance on the pitch, you got a bunch of play styles, you got a bunch of numbers and stats. He's sort of like an upgraded version of a Goretzka, if you wanted a comparison type of player. I would even say Cafu on the Golasso. I guess you could go with the upgraded, but the Golasso made a lot of minutes. He got plenty of playing time. These were guys that I had if we started getting a little more creative.
I fully agree. The one that I left out was actually Kenny Dalglish, 98 rated, who also has a very, very good card.
That's a great shout. Great shout.
And I would say if you weren't to pick Henry in your under 500k, I think that would also be an option for the unlimited budget with his new card that came out, the 97 rated Henry. So he also looks really good.
Dumb nice.
The last guy that I didn't really add on to my 500k budget on was actually Jared Miller, who also has a a pretty okay card with 4 playstyles, 93 pace, 97 shooting, and 89 physique. Also a very, very good card for under 500k if you're looking towards striker.
Yeah, some of the price points on these guys are unbelievable because a lot of them didn't even touch 500,000 coins. They were 100k, 200k, 300k. I think that's the majority actually as I go through some of the price points. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Let us know in the comments whose choices you agree with more. If we left off any names, I appreciate Alito coming on. I will link everything that he's got going down below, from his social media to the YouTube to the Twitch, you name it. I'm watching everything. I'm dialed in. Ali's been helping everyone get better at the game. I've been following a bunch of the tactics. I've been copying those tactics and just trying to unleash whatever I can get done for the weekend league. And I appreciate your time, my brother.
Always happy being here. And I mean, as everyone's been watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to one of the best channels out there in terms of FC content as well on the mic. So yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Kind words, and we'll have a lot more coming out ASAP.